Hello, everyone. Good evening to everyone over there. So, uh, today I would be actually speaking about identifying KPIs and bottlenecks in web applications. This is how we look when terms like KPIs and bottlenecks are thrown at us. Being from the testing department, we are expected to be familiar with them, but at times are caught by surprise. Understanding the impacts of these terms on our web application that we work on is crucial to the quality we claim applications to have. Knowing about these values help us understanding the performance related quality of the application that we are actually working on. So, what are KPIs and what are bottlenecks? The full form of the abbreviation of KPI is Key Performance Indicator. So, these values quantify how good is your application's performance, like high user satisfaction, low average response time, low error rates, count of application instances that are available, high request rates that are supported, low application and server CPU utilization, maximum application availability at all given times. These are all the plus points. Now, moving on to bottlenecks, if there are bottlenecks in your application, that means that your application is performing poorly somewhere, right? So the list of potential bottlenecks is also listed as slow response time, poor scalability, longer load time taken, system downtime, and frequent software breaks. So, how do we record these KPIs and identify the bottlenecks that may cause these kind of issues? As I've been working a lot with pharmaceutical based applications, the performance aspect of their quality is crucial. I've come across multiple applications for performance testing and engineering. Many of these applications have had huge data volumes to it. So the testing response time of API and queries has always been a major part of my work. Without a doubt, there are many aspects of performance related to the client and server side performance that we need to investigate on a very daily basis. But performance related to data is always going to be crucial. We all know data is money in this age and date. So, how do we identify if data access requires any kind of optimization? Let me share an example with you through one of the recent performance tests that I have been conducting. So we had this web application in the pharma domain that came up with the requirement of performance testing. We had all the information required to do the load test for this application, like number of users, transactions, test data, the access to the right performance testing environment, and all the required resources related to it. This application's setup was done using AWS resources like EC2 instances for user management, RDS instances for database management, S3 buckets to manage all the data files, and Lambda functions as well. The functionality was pretty straightforward for a search functionality. They had a lot of data files that were stored in the S3 bucket. So when the metadata was being inserted into the database, they were using vector arrays to do it. This would quicken their search and give faster results to the user, which was expected. Even though all of this was done, what we observed was when we did a single user performed a UI search action, it would take more than a minute to return the data file information. As this seemed problematic, I even observed that the CPU utilization of the RDS was spiking to approximately 8% for each single user search, which is pretty high. So this brought forward two bottlenecks. One, the response time, and two, the RDS CPU utilization. Because of this, I was able to conclude that, say, even if around 50 odd users were performing a concurrent test at the same time, the application's RDS would definitely max out, which would bring down multiple KPIs. The RDS server would be unavailable to process any other request, which means there would be an increase in the error rates. Application availability will be impacted. Thus, it will be impacting the Abdex score eventually. So, just a simple search functionality was causing such critical bottlenecks as well as impacting every KPI that would indicate good quality performance of the application. So the entire quality of the application was brought down because one simple search functionality was not working or was not performing as expected. As we identified the issue area, we broke down the entire search API into two parts. one being the business logic or backend code that was doing the actual processing, and the second part was the database query. For the backend code, we checked with less amount of data, which helped us conclude that the problem did not lie there. So what we did is we analyzed the query further, and the query execution, we were able to observe the spike and the high CPU utilization and the response time as well. So we knew that the issue did lie with the query. We used the explain keyword to break down the query and understand which part of the query was consuming more time. This is how a query plan looks. So with the explain query, we were able to extract the query plan and then use this particular site, or there are multiple sites available over there, which will help you understand and break down the query and how it is working on each level. So from the query plan, we were able to see that, which step in the query was consuming more time, and subsequently, which was consuming more RDS CPU utilization. We discussed this with the developers and we were able to get this fixed. We brought down the CPU utilization of the RDS for the search from around 8% to 2%. And the time consumed, which was initially more than a minute, was reduced to a single digit search. What I shared with you was just a single example, which happens very often and can be tackled using very simple techniques available. To summarize, while testing the performance, you can use these simple steps or template. You need to find the most heavy data and time consuming business scenario. You have to observe the CPU utilization of the RDS, EC2 instances, or any resources that you're using, and also observe the response time of the execution during this business scenario. You observe them, note them down, take multiple iterations of it. Check out which resource is consuming more time and investigate that further. Break down the components into client side and server side and observe their behaviors separately to find the culprit. And then you can proceed with the fix. These are a few tools and indicators that help us in identifying bottlenecks and bringing up the KPI values in your applications. So a very misconstrued notion around performance testing is that everyone needs to know all the tools that are available in the market for performance testing, and only then we'll be able to do it. But even with simple indicators and observations, we can actually understand how an application's performance can be improved even by not doing any automated source of generating data. Even a single user observations can actually help you. So what you need to do is, you need to keep an eye out on the CPU utilizations, on the DB connection counts that are happening. You need to enable performance insight, which is a ready tool available within the AWS servers for databases. You can check the log files to check for any SQL errors, which might be consuming more time and causing more errors in your application. The API response time, the query execution time that is taken, and any page load time. Break this down into front end and back end, and then you can proceed further as required. But tools are not just a way, it's just a way to automate and capture load. Performance testing also needs to be done by an individual and taken one step forward by doing performance engineering, which means not just identification and reporting, but also resolution. And on that note, I would like to conclude and say that performance testing has been quite a quality indicator within the applications and not just functional or the automation testing. Performance testing also adds to the quality and user experience of any applications. I would like to thank you all for your time and the opportunity to Takela and its sponsors to giving me this platform to spread some part of my knowledge into the QA community and learn as well. I am Sandra John, working as a QA lead from QLogic Technologies. Thank you.